Hello student, I welcome you in the class of physical chemistry. We have already started the chapter nuclear chemistry. In our previous lecture, we have discussed about the nuclear fission reaction is a source of energy. Now we will see the some nuclear reactors are situated in the different states in the India and their capacity of power. So the first reactor that is situated at Kundankulam, Tamil Nadu, having very high power capacity about 2000 megawatt. Second reactor are situated at Tarapur, Maharashtra, have capacity 1400 megawatt. Third reactor, it is in Rajasthan. It has capacity 1180 megawatt. Fourth plant is at Kaigan, Karnataka, having capacity 880 megawatt. Fifth is at Kalpakkam, Tamil Nadu. It has capacity 470 megawatt. Then at Uttar Pradesh, Narora, having capacity 440 megawatt. And last is at Kakarpara, it is in Gujarat. It has power capacity about 440 megawatt. So these are the some reactors or power plant situated in the India. So next topic will be the nuclear pollution. So friends, we know what is pollution. Pollution is any undesirable changes in the atmosphere we consider as pollution. So pollution are different types: air pollution, water pollution, food pollution. So this is due to the undesirable changes in food, air, water. So that will create a pollution. So similarly, if the nuclear waste are created which create undesirable changes in our normal life or nature, so these are included or we called as nuclear pollution. So let us see the nuclear pollution in detail. The nuclear pollution is the pollution due to the radioactive waste. These are generated by nuclear power plant, mining of ores of radioactive element, some research institute, or in hospitals. That means for the specially a cancerous hospitals where the radioisotopes are used to treat the cancer patient. So there are two types of sources of nuclear wastage or radioactive pollution or nuclear pollution. First is natural sources. That means these waste material are spread due to from the natural sources. And second will be the man-made sources. So these natural sources were not able to prohibit or restrict, but we can try to minimize the wastage. Nuclear waste is created by man-made sources that we will control and to control the nuclear pollution also. So let us see the what are the natural resources sources, that is radioactive element such as uranium 239, thorium 234, radium-226. These nuclear radioactive isotopes are present in the rocks in the earth crust. Second, uranium ores are extracted from mines contain toxic materials such as arsenic, cadmium, mercury, and the material formed from radioactive decay. The cosmic rays is also natural sources which is results to generate a light radioisotopes, that is carbon, nitrogen, and proton. We can tritium is radioisotopes. The second sources of the nuclear waste is man-made sources. When the nuclear device are tested under the ground, a considerable quantity of fission products such as C14, SR90, iodine 131, cesium 137 are released in the atmosphere. Some radiation leaked from the nuclear reactors. Nuclear accident from nuclear energy plant that also spread the nuclear waste in the atmosphere, which results in nuclear pollution. The use of nuclear weapons as a weapons of mass destruction, that means nuclear bomb. Use of radioisotopes, that means somewhere in the medical or hospital they will be using radioisotopes to treat the cancer cells. We can also use the to study the reaction mechanism, structure, interpretation. In some cases we have used the radioisotopes. That radioisotopes is also spread over the atmosphere. Refining and purification of uranium also generate a nuclear waste. Spillage of radioactive chemicals. These are the man-made sources that we can prohibit or minimize by using a different management of radioactive isotopes. So next will be these radioactive waste or pollutant that can be classified on the basis of their level of radioactivity. So first is low level wastage, second is intermediate level waste, and third is high level waste. So in low level waste we can shortly called as LLW. This type of waste is generating from industry and hospital as well as nuclear fuel cycle. It is in the form of paper, clothing, filter. They contain small amount of mostly short-lived radioactive radioisotopes. The low-level waste has a radioactive content is not exceed 4 gigabecquerel GBq per T of alpha activity, 12 GBq per T beta gamma activity. 90% of this waste come into the category, but only 1% of radioactive activity of all radioactive waste. That means this low level waste is about only 1% of total nuclear waste. So second class, that means intermediate level waste. So it more radioactive than low level waste. It requires some shielding. If whenever we manage this intermediate level waste, so we will always protected them or shielded. It consists of chemical slugs, metal fuel, cladding, also contaminated material from reactor. It make up 7% volume and has the 4% of the radioactivity of all radioactive waste. That means 7 and this 1%, and the remaining nuclear waste is that is are classified as a high level waste, that is HLW. It is much more radioactive than intermediate level waste. It requires cooling and shielding. It contains fission product, transuranic element generated in the core. It makes 3% of radioactive waste, but 95% of the total radioactivity of the waste. So this is our very important class to manage or to control this radioactivity or radioactive waste. So how we manage this radioactive or dispose this radioactive material in a proper way, so to minimize the nuclear pollution? The first, the low level waste are packed in a drums and are placed in 15-meter wide and 10-meter deep trenches, or the sealed drum are buried under the seabed. Second, that is high level waste have to be disposed in the remote area. That means there will be no societies, that means living things are there. So that will be remote area. It is in the maybe in the forest or some coastal area, that store above the ground for the 10 year to cool down, and then the waste can be enclosed in canister and buried in the rocky places at the depth of 700 meter from the surface, or in the salt deposited in the depth about 66 meter, or placed in the synthetic rock can resist the high temperature and buried in the depth about 500 meter under the ground. So in this way we can manage or dispose the radioactive waste material in order to minimize the nuclear pollution. So last point is nuclear disaster is a case study. So there are several nuclear disasters, but let us see one nuclear disaster that occurred in 26th of April in 1986 at Ukraine. This Chernobyl nuclear power plant situated at the Pripyat, Pripyat river at Ukraine. So this reactor having the capacity of 1000 megawatts electric power, and at this there will be two explosions are reported. So let us see, that means how it is occur this explosion. So group of engineers have to plan the electrical engineering experiment on the reactor number 4. So experiment is how long the turbine would be spin, supply power to the main circulating pump, following a loss of main electric power and supply. That means without power, so how much time the turbine will be spin in case the power will be lost. So aim of this experiment is whether cooling of the core could be continued in the event of loss of power. That means this is because of this turbine the cooling will be continued. So if power supply is cut, then if the turbine is continually moved, so cooling will be continuously going on. So that we will check, uh, that we will that they have the that they want to check. So whether if the power is lost, so whether cooling will be continued in the reactor core. The emergency core cooling system of the reactor, that means suppose if something is happen, so emergency core cooling system is available for the safety purpose, which provides water for cooling the reactor core was shut down. So because of this, the experiment fails due to the some error, that means communicated by the operator and misconception uh, between the operator without a proper exchange of information between testing peoples and the safety departments. So the temperature of the core continuously increases and the reaction goes out of control. Due to this internal damage of the core, finally it explosion taking place, and all material such as nuclear fuel, uh, moderator, structure and material were thrown out and the core was exposed to the atmosphere. Uh, there are about 50 tons of radioactive material, that means huge amount of radioactive materials were released in the atmosphere. It was 400 times to the amount of radioactive material released at the time of Hiroshima and Nagasaki bomb bombarding in Japan. So 400 times more material, radioactive material, will be exploded at Ukraine. About 50 tons of radioactive isotopic material will be exposed to the atmosphere. That will uh, reflect or results some medical problem and some fatal effect. So these are a fatal effect, that means more than 30 workers died at the place within month. Then accident created, and there are about 7,000 cases of thyroid cancers are there. Then acute radiation syndromes are seen in the about 237 peoples. Land, air and groundwater were contaminated by this radioactive material. uh, because of these, there will be a severe health problem, such as mutations in genetic mutation are taking place, chromosome aberration and consequential malfunctioning taking place, and genetic abnormals will be created. So these type of adverse effects will be observed after this nuclear disaster. So here we have I have completed the theoretical parts. Now let us see some numericals. So numericals are that is polonium 210 has half-life period about 138 days. The material is decaying starting with 1000 gram of substances initially present, and calculate the time required to lose 1 gram only. So this is about numericals. So first we take the take the givens, that means t half life period they have given, that is 138 days. The concentration of initial substance, that is N0, 1000 gram of the substance at initial, and they want to calculate, that is time required to lose 1 gram, that means initially is 1000 minus 1 gram, that means n, that at time t. So how much gram is there, that is 999. So we know the relation between half life period and decay constants. So we know the rate equation for radioactive decay, that is lambda is equal to 2.303 upon t log of n0 upon n. So n0 we know, n we know, that is they want to calculate this time required to lose the 1 gram of the radioactive substances. So lambda is decay constant, so that is not given, but we know the relation between decay constant and half life. So this relation lambda is equal to 0.693 upon t 1 half. So we know the half life period, that means we can able to determine or calculate the decay constant 5.022 into 10 raised to minus 3 days inverse, that is time inverse, that is unit of the first order reaction. So then we can rearrange this equation, t is equal to, because we want to calculate the time required to lose 1 gram of the radioactive sample. So this lambda will at this position, Then 2.303 upon lambda log of n0 upon n. Then we know the all this term, that is n0 n lambda, so we can able to determine the t. The t will be the 1.972 days. So for within 1.972, that means about 2 days required to lose 1 gram of the radioactive sample. So this is about numerical. So second numerical, that is half life period of sodium 24 is 14.8. In of what period of time will sample containing sodium 24 lose 90% of its activity? So that is similar numerical, that n0 is 100%, so n will be the how much n, that means 90% will be lost, that means how much remaining is 10% at time t n. So they have given that half-life period 14.8 hours. So similar numerical are there, that is we know the rate equation 2.303, we know the n0 n, we want to calculate this t, so we don't know this lambda or decay constant, but they have given the half-life period. So from the half-life period we can able to determine the decay constant lambda. Okay, so once we get the decay constant, we substitute the decay constant here, we calculate the t, that is time required to lose this much amount of radioactive element. So this will be 49.21 hours. So in this way we can able to find out decay constant, half-life period by using this equation. These two equations are important for numerical. So that is first order rate equation, lambda is equal to 2.303 upon t log of n0 upon n, and second will be the lambda is equal to 0.693 upon t1 half, that is half-life period and decay constant. These two equations are important for numericals for in the nuclear chemistry. So these are the some MCQ type questions, because the due to this corona pandemic condition, our exam will be online. So online pattern will be the multiple choice questions are there. So we'll see the some MCQ type of questions. So let us first, the nuclei of same element having same proton but different number of neutron are called as, we know the isotopes. Then alpha particle is represented by, that is helium nucleus. The nuclei having same mass number but different number of proton and neutrons are called as isobars, because mass of the nuclei will change, different, same same mass, that is isobar. Iso means same and bar means mass. So that we already discussed in first lecture. Radioactivity is irreversible phenomenon, because once the radioactive decay, the element will be decayed, so it will not again reverse process, it is irreversible process. The beta particle consists of one electron, that means negatively charged particle, it is equivalent to the one electron. So SI unit of the radioactivity is CGS unit is Curie and SI unit is becquerel. So this is this answer will be the becquerel. So mean life period of the element is inversely proportional to the is decay constant, that is we already seen the relation, that is mean life is equal to 1 upon lambda. In tracer technique, dash are used. Isobar isotopes, we have used radioactive isotopes in tracer technique. So 1 Curie is the amount of radioactive substance we disintegrate at the rate of, that is 3.7 into 10 raised to 10 disintegration per second, that we have seen in the unit of the radioactive decay. So here second chapter, that is nuclear chemistry, is completed. So in next lecture we will see the next chapter, that is investigation of molecular structure. Thank you.